Evening hours at Kim FM. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to the dear listeners of Ikim FM. Welcome to a brand new episode of Above and Beyond. I'm your host Batrisyia, and in this episode we are going to discuss a serious matter prominent in affecting the education system. Without curbing the problem at the root, it has now spread to the working environment and more seriously to marriage. And for today, we are going to talk about bullying, and in more detail we are going to look at its effect on the victim. And joining me in the studio today is Siti Batrisyia, who is going to share her experience with us. Assalamualaikum and welcome to the studio, Batrisyia.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Miss Betty.
It is such a pleasure to have you in the studio, and coincidentally we have both shared the same names. And also our nickname also the same, Betty, right? And Alhamdulillah, for today we are going to listen to your sharing, and we hope that today's sharing will be beneficial and also inspiring to those who are listening to us. But before we listen to that, first I would like to define bullying. And for you, according to the Australian Human Rights Commission, bullying is when people repeatedly and intentionally use words or actions against someone or a group of people to cause distress and risk to their well-being, and these actions are usually done by people with more influence or power over someone else, or who want to make someone else feel less powerful or helpless. And there are many types of bullying, the most known being physical bullying, which involves actions like hitting and kicking. There is also verbal bullying, social bullying, cyberbullying, racial bullying, sexual bullying, and many more. And in late last year, the Malaysian Ministry of Education KBM revealed that the number of bullying cases in schools continues to rise, with a total of 4,994 cases recorded as of October last year. And the figure shows an increase in bullying cases in schools compared to the previous 2 years, namely in 2001 and 2022. While these are statistics of cases that happen in schools, it is also important to note that there are cases of bullying reported in the workplace, and this shows that anyone can be victim of bullying. And now, turning to you, Batrisyia, can you share with us your personal experience with bullying, and how did you confront your bullies?
Thank you, Miss Betty. As I have been introduced by Miss Betty, my name is Siti Batrisyia binti Muhammad Yusof, and right now I'm currently studying law at UiTM Shah Alam. In this my second year right now. So for me, bullying, what I understand is that it has a very long-term effect on a person. How they see the world, they act, their think. This, what happened even long before that, can affect their life for a very long time.
Yes.
So it all started when I was in standard 5. When I was standard 5, I was just a very cheerful kid. I was happy all the time. I talked a lot back then. So I didn't realize that it makes someone got mad at me because of how cheerful I was. So that day I remember quite vividly actually, she slapped me in my face out of nowhere. She just went and slapped me. So that I didn't know what to do. I thought, what did I do wrong? Why suddenly this is happening to me? So I just stayed quiet. And then I told my mom about it when I got back home. And then the next day my mom asked the teacher what is happening and all. So the teachers called that kid, asking why she did that. And then she started to say that I accused her, she didn't do anything like that. So I started crying. And then she spread rumors telling everyone that I created a story, like trying to what do you call it, macam menganiaya her lah, something like that.
Okay.
So I just keep quiet for a very long time. After that, she accused me of stealing. She told everyone that I steal her stuff, which was not true. So I didn't do anything about it. So I was just like, no, I didn't do that. And then I just mind my own business and just
So on that time, were there anyone who believed in your story, in your side of story?
no, actually no.
Even do you have close friend on that time?
She was actually one of my close friends.
I see.
Yeah.
So you feel betrayed?
Yeah, kind of like that. She betrayed me, and then she started to influence everyone around me that
To hit on you.
Yeah, to hit on me and don't be friends with me, all that. So at the end of the year, where it all like kind of started, the spark started, where we have like the feast, end of the year feast, that everyone have to bring their own food. It's like potluck. So everyone was bringing their own food, and no one let me eat their food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did the teacher realize about that?
No, not
Okay.
anything. Because that was the starting point where I stay quiet. So I didn't like talk a lot. I didn't cry anything. I just stay quiet. So I just eat the food that my mom brought me, and then just like that. And then the following year, the following year when I started standard 6, I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends at all. So to the point that everyone started to avoid me for no reason. So I didn't try to find out why back then, as I was just a kid. So I thought maybe this is just a period that will pass. So after that there's rumors about me cheating on the exam, and then rumors about me steal my friend's money. So all this time I didn't do anything. So I just like endure all that. I just take it in. I think that year it became worse during my UPSR year. So there was something that called surat layang back then,
Alright.
where
Yeah.
people start to write something and then put it in everyone's bag or locker, and wrote something that is disgraceful lah, something like that. So and my classmate, I didn't know about it. My classmate told the teachers that it was me. So the teachers called me to her room, asking why I did this, why I did that.
Means that she accused you of writing the surat layang.
Yeah, she did. And I didn't know anything. So when people started to confront me like that and scream, the teachers was not that calm. She said, "Why you do this? Why you do that? How could you do something like that to your friend? You know this is very big issue." I didn't really know what to do, so I just cry and stay quiet. I didn't even defend myself.
So, but before that, were you able to share your side of story
No.
to the teacher? No, she
I-
didn't. She didn't even ask you.
Let me have the time to tell her anything. So after that, I still remember. I walked into the classroom after I just cried. There's a group at the back of the class. They all sitting at the back of the class and they started to shout, busuknya bawa apa ni? So I really didn't know what to do. So I just stay at my seat and I just continue crying. So I also remember that WhatsApp was not common to be used by kids back then. So most of us, we use Instagram instead. So they created a group putting my name for the group name. I cannot share what the name was because it's too explicit. So they did that. And then they started to edit my picture and then put it as the group profile picture.
So, on the time you were only standard 6?
Yeah, 12 years old.
12 years old, correct.
So after that, I avoid using my name, Siti. I didn't introduce myself as Siti after that. I really didn't. So other than that, they forced me to do their homework, and then I have to buy food for them. Back then, I went to a private school, so my class was on the 3rd floor. So it was very high actually, and I was not skinny. I was quite chubby as a kid. So I have to go down, buy some food for them, which was also my canteen was not nearby. So the canteen for my school, we have to share it with high school for that school, and then it is quite far actually, around 150 meters, something like that. So it was a 10 to 12 minutes walk, go back. So yeah, I do that almost every day for a year. And then sometimes I have to carry their bag and all. So after a while, I talked to some of them. I thought that we have became friends because they started to talk to me, asking me to do that, to do this. So I thought we are friends finally. And then I asked them, why do you do that to me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Can I apologize or something? And then she told me, because I was fat and I was an easy target for them. Because I didn't speak up for myself. So I just stay quiet. And then one of them, which is I would say the leader, the one that accused me, she just straight out told me, I just don't, aku tak suka muka kau. Like, she told me, you are ugly, you know that, something like that. So that was the part where I started to realize, this is not my fault. I didn't do anything. This is not something that I can control. So after that, I didn't really told my parents anything about it because I don't want them to worry. So I just stay quiet, and then but my parents, they realized my behavior started to change. I became quiet. I didn't really talk to them anymore. So after that we moved houses. So as a kid, I didn't really know what to do. So it is my own fault lah for not telling my parents about it and all. So I thought that was normal. That was part of friendship, for you to just endure, for you to accept your friends and all. So I also started to ask myself, why can't I stand up? I know this is wrong. I know what they did to me was not right, but I just can't confront them properly. So at one point in life, I started to question, do I really deserve this? Like, why is this happening to me? So even that was the reason why my examination for USR was quite affected. I didn't get a good result for my USR. So it affected me so much to the point that for a long time I have some sort of abandonment issue. I'm scared that people will left me whenever they feel like they don't need me anymore. So I tend to make myself useful for them. And I will do anything just to make sure that people like me. So it was that.
And that was your experience when you were in primary school, right? So how about then you moving into the secondary school? Were you still facing that bully, or yes, become much better than that?
So like I said, when my parents started to realize that my behavior was changing, we moved to another houses. So back then I stayed in Selangor. So my parents moved my family to Kuala Lumpur. So I changed school. And then I thought at first that everything will happen again. Like I have to endure that once again. So the first few weeks was kind of hard because I didn't really talk to anyone. So I just stay quiet and distance myself from everyone because I'm scared that if they approach me, then I have to go through the same thing again. But that was the point that I was wrong. So a few of my friends from high school, a total stranger, started to talk to me even though I avoid them. But they just keep on following me, asking me, do you want to eat together with us, anything. So I started to open myself up to that. And I realized that was the time I realized that I was bullied. That was not okay. What happened to me in primary school was not normal at all. So how I got back out was when I talked to my brother about it. I have an older brother. So I talked to him. I told him everything about what had happened to me. And he makes me feel so safe and comfortable talking to him. He didn't get mad at me for not defending myself or anything. So, yeah.
And with the pressure that you went through, how does it impact your current mental and emotional well-being?
So, back then, even after that period of time, even after all the trauma, I was quite insecure about myself. I was actually really, really insecure myself to the point that I hate looking myself at the mirror. And then when I started to socialize with the right people, I started to talk with my parents. I spent time more with them. I realized that I am enough. And I started to love myself properly. I take care of myself. I went to the gym, and then I start taking good care of myself. I sleep enough. So my emotional was slowly I regained my confidence back. I didn't feel like cry easily. I didn't cry so easily. I didn't feel sad all the time. So I think around Form 2, around when I was 14, that I can feel that I was being happier. I didn't feel sad that quite often anymore.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to going back during the phase of you coping with the bullying. Did you realize that you are actually being bullied on that time?
No, I didn't.
You didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, if that were there any feeling that you think that something is wrong with you, even the slightest? Did you even experience that?
I
No.
did. I thought that I really did thought that I did something wrong to that person,
Mm-hmm.
to the girl that I was talking about. I thought that maybe did I actually steal her stuff without me realizing that I took her stuff. I didn't know what went wrong. I didn't know did I do something wrong. So I started to convince myself I was the problem
Mm-hmm.
because I wouldn't do such thing to them. So if they are willing to do that to me, maybe I was in the wrong.
Mm-hmm. So in your story, you did mention that about when you were called by your, is she a counseling teacher or your homeroom teacher?
She was a counseling teacher.
Your counseling teacher, and you expressed how she didn't believe in you. She didn't even listen to your story first when she interrogate you about the surat layang, right? So I would like to ask now that you're in a growing up, what is your perspective on that teacher? Do you feel distrust on her?
I actually do. I come to think about it, I think that she was being very unprofessional. Why would you scream at the children like that? I was 12 years old. I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was doing. I was really blank. I didn't know anything. So for you to confront a student, a kid like that, that is totally wrong, in my point of view. Because what would you feel? How would you feel if you know that you have a child, your own kids, are being screamed at, being interrogated like that, being accused of doing something that she didn't actually do?
Mm-hmm. And as we know, bullying is a very serious issue. It can heavily affect someone's life, and according to the US stopbullying.gov, those being bullied can experience negative physical, social, emotional, academic, and mental health issues. But apart from that, those who bully others also have an impact on themselves. So for kids, they may engage in violent and other risky behaviors into adulthood, and they are more likely to abuse alcohol and other drugs in adolescence, and as adults get into fights, vandalize property, and be abusive to their romantic partners, spouses, or children as adults. And again, going back to your, how does the bullying shape your perspective in life? Can we share with us in details how has the experience of the traumatizing experience shape your perspective on life, and especially you are reaching becoming an adult?
So at first, when I was growing up in high school, I thought that maybe everyone is not that bad. As I have met a few nice people when I was growing up, and then I realized that not everyone is like this. They are the one who bullies me. They are the one with problem, but they tend to channel their energy towards other people. So they like to see other people being miserable. So as I grew up, I realized that this is wrong, and I cannot act like this. I have to be different. I cannot be like them just because I have experienced something like that. So I work really hard. Not for them, but I try to prove to myself. I didn't want to prove anything to them. I try to prove to myself that I am enough. I do not need their validation in life. So I learned to be kind to others because we don't know what everyone is facing right now. Everyone have their own problems.
Yes.
So I seek reason at first on why people are behaving a certain way. So for example, if a person are always mad or anything, I try to be understanding. maybe he's going through something. That's why he's acting that way. So I do not force a decision on someone. If they don't like that, then that's fine. Because as a kid, I was forced to do things that I do not want. So I try not to do that when I grow up. And then I learn not to take things by the heart. So whenever anyone said something to me, I just like, okay, that's okay, that's fine. I do not have to be affected by that word, because everyone have their own opinion.
Yes.
So just because we didn't believe in that doesn't mean that it's not right. Maybe for them that is the truth. So whenever I get mad, whenever something started to trigger my heart, I stay quiet, and then I start to calm down and just try to structure my word properly, because I know that words can really do hurt someone.
Yes.
So most of these people, even the bullies, I believe that they are going through something, maybe in their home, maybe they are going through something in their life that we don't know about. So it doesn't mean that they are actually at the fault, but they are also a kid. I'm not trying to rationalize what they have done, but it is what it is. Some people are going through something, and that's just how they express
the anger, express the
anger,
problem that they're
towards
facing.
anyone.
And to continue this conversation forward, I would like to touch on the bystander effect. Of course, we don't want just to look, but we also want to help. So can you share with us some signs that people should be aware of to know that someone is being bullied?
So for example, if you see your friends from changing their behavior from being a cheerful person and suddenly she just went quiet, maybe you should start to ask them what's wrong with them, because a person would not change their behavior just like that. Something must have happened for them to change.
Yes.
Something that triggered them. So I believe that sometimes when people they know that the other person are going through something emotional or physically, being abused or being bullied, if you didn't do anything, even when you know, actually I consider it way worse, because you know that someone is going through something that is quite difficult in their life, and you just stand there and didn't do anything. I think that's
Because
bad.
I think another thing is that they might feel scared that the bully will come to them, and why do you help that person? I think there's also maybe some element of scared of being chased after the bully for helping. So there's another element, but in a way that's there's something that we cannot ignore, right? Because it is something serious, because bullying can heavily impact someone to the point that when it comes to to mental health problems, it can cause someone to take their life away. And according to the US Center for Disease and Control, some effect of bullying, it can directly affect the students' ability to learn, where students who are bullied are more likely to experience low self-esteem and isolation, perform poorly in school and have fewer friends, and even have a negative view of school and experience mental health issues. So it is it can leave a very deep a mark in someone's life. We are talking about life here, right? And going back into, because you experienced this when you were in school. So in your opinion, what can the schools or even society as a whole can do to prevent and address bullying effectively?
For me, I think if something was done differently back then, for example, the teachers that I have encountered, if she just asked me what actually happened, she asked me properly, and I was giving time and space to tell her my part of the story, maybe it'll all be different. Maybe my childhood will not be as bad as what had happened. So the school, they need to train the counseling teachers way more properly. Maybe send them to what do we call it, courses or something, so that
Seminars or
they need to really be aware that they are talking to a children.
Not just teacher. I think the public also, can go to at least some sort of like a class how to detect someone who's getting bullied, for example, right? Or how to handle a bully issue, because bully can not just only happen at school, but it can also happen in the workplace. So kids can bully people, adults also can bully people. And as we are reaching the end of this episode, I would like to leave you with one last question. If you get the opportunity to reconcile with the person who bullied you, what would you want to say to that person?
Honestly, I'm happy with my life right now. I really do. I have a very loving family. I have loving friends. So, yeah. I
Say-
win, you lose. And no, I didn't think about it like that. I think I want them to be happy with their life also. If you have anything that holding you back for whatever that you have done to me, I forgive you. But maybe please do not do that to anyone else in the future.
So you have no grudge to that person?
No, not really.
That's very nice of you. So, dear listeners, and again, we want to highlight that bullying is actually a serious problem. It is something that should not be taken lightly, and as different people may experience a different level of bullying, bullying is still a bullying. So, if you're experiencing bullying, please seek help. You don't have to experience it alone as a society. Also, we have to stand together to curb bullying, and we need to help those who need help. So, for such, you can contact the HEAL line at 15555, the first crisis hotline in the country. And with that being said, I would like to thank Batrisyia for her courage to share her story with us, and we hope that today's sharing will be inspiring and also beneficial to those who are listening to us either to radio or online. And again, Batrisyia, thank you for being with us in the studio.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. And dear listeners, if you miss any part of the show or would like to watch it again, you can watch it through our Facebook page, facebook.com/ikimfm, and through our YouTube, youtube.com/@ikimfm_my. And thank you for listening to us for today. Be sure to tune in to us next week for more interesting topic from us. So stay tuned to Ikim FM, Inspirasi